West built out these two Land Cruisers here. He has 3 at the show. I will show you one on 37s later in the video, but we have a first edition here in Heritage Blue. Guys, this one giving me straight motivation vibes for the Land Cruiser that we have coming to the channel. We put 35-inch tires on this, Method 703s with kind of that heritage stripe on it. He has his rock sliders down here for the new Land Cruiser. Kind of remind me of the 4Runner rock sliders that I have on my 5th gen. He added a little bit of some heritage striping to it. I think it really pops on this blue. I've seen some renders of it going down the side and then up here. I can't remember who did it, but it looks really good. And then on the back of his roof rack right here, they have the Toyota heritage stuff. But at the very back, you guys remember this? So this was on the Sequoia that Jeff did for SEMA. So he had this on the TRD Pro Sequoia that he built for SEMA a couple years ago, and then he just added it to the back of this Land Cruiser. And then the second one that he has over here, a little bit cleaner of a build, but this one is just a black first edition with some kind of machine polished methods on it. Again, some 35s. He did try putting 37s on this, but it was just way too big for the show with the pre-collar kit. It rubbed a lot and it just did not look functional at all. So they took those off and put some 35s on it. Again, here are the sliders. Take a closer look. It's kind of doing that whole bottle cap thing for all these new sliders too. And then the roof rack kept it machined, and then we'll just take a look down the side. I think that the Land Cruisers look pretty good on 35s. I'm gonna definitely put bigger tires on ours. I already have them. I already have the color and everything. I teased it on my Instagram, so if you guys aren't following me there, you guys can see a lot of behind the scenes stuff. YouTube used to have like a story feature where I could do some behind the scenes stuff. Now I just kind of post to the community page on YouTube, and then also the members section every once in a while as well. But we are here very early, but we have Toyota section with the new 4Runner right here in Everest color. So at the Overland Expo, they're bringing out the Trail Hunter versus like the TRD Pro, just because the Expo is more of, you know, off-road focused, like go further instead of go faster kind of a thing. So I will have a full review video on the Trail Hunter coming, just like I did the Pro back in Gilmer, Texas. But they also have the Land Cruiser. We have a Tundra Platinum with the TRD lift kit on it, and then in the very back we have a Tacoma Trail Hunter. And the Trail Hunter, guys, they're actually giving away. So there's a sweepstakes that ends I'm trying to find a sign for you guys, but there's a sweepstakes that ends like October 16th. I'll put a link to it in the description for you guys, because it's right here. So they're giving away the Trail Hunter. So you could win it plus $25,000 cash to offset like the taxes and stuff. And then yeah, it ends October 15th down at the bottom, but I'll leave a link to this. It's called tacomasweeps.com. It's legit, which is pretty cool for them to do. But after Toyota's booth, I want to show you guys now a 4th gen by 74 Weld. It's on portals. It's kind of crazy. They have 38-inch tires on this 4th gen Tacoma. So let's go take a look at that. So as we were making our way over there, I spot this one, man. So a Toyota pickup truck, just a little camper, old school. He's got his beer up top. Like, of all the crazy builds and stuff here, it's still nice to see something old school like this. So here we have 74 Weld, guys. They did a 3rd gen last year. It was at GFC's booth, but this year, this truck is 1 week old, and they were able to develop a portal kit for it already. Not sure like how much it is in their prototyping phase, but basically this portal kit is allowing you to run some way bigger tires on your truck without the need for pretty much re-gearing. And the reason for that is because on each corner of the truck, and comment engineers, let me know if I'm wrong, but basically what these portals do is there's gearing inside of it to reduce it down so that there's pretty much no stress on the drivetrain. So it's not just like a spacer or anything like that. You can see how it replaces the aluminum knuckles and everything. But there's a whole bunch of gearing inside of this that's able to reduce it down so it feels like the truck is OEM with even running bigger tires. But they got 38s on this thing. They got 38.5, some Nitto trail grapplers on this. Absolutely insane, on some 17-inch methods. So here you could see the gearing inside of it. So instead of putting bigger tires onto your truck and having to re-gear the diffs, that's basically what these portals are doing. And in turn with that, you're gaining a whole bunch of clearance too, like 38s on this truck. And all they did was just kind of trim out the fender wells and stuff, but you could see no removal right here on the crash supports, and the front fender liner is pretty much still intact. Here we have 3 4th Gen Tacomas kind of in a row. We're going to start with C4s over here. They have a high clearance front bumper, rear bumper on this, and rock sliders. So while a lot of companies are kind of just doing the low pro versions for these new Tacomas first, this is the first one I've actually seen that actually integrates a high clearance portion over here. So C4 definitely cutting into your bumper. So if you don't want that, then maybe the other 2 that I show you may be an option, but definitely allowing for some higher clearance for both approach angle, departure angle, and bigger tires. But you have a Warn winch integrated into it, C4 branding, some Baja S2 Sport pods. They put a recovery points right there. Below this bumper, we also have a skid plate by C4. If we go around to the side, we're gonna see their rock sliders that they'll be offering with a kick out. This one is a 0 degree. They'll kick out in the back, and I like the plates up top too. Nice little kind of grip texture for if you're getting in and out of the vehicle, or if you need to access anything up on your roof. And it looks like, I believe that brand is Sherpa. I think this is a Sherpa roof rack. We also have the bars back here holding on a spare tire, and also a high lift jack. And then they have their rear bumper in the back right here, C4 branded. So you could see that they integrated all of the sensors and stuff, and a big concern for the Tacoma, because the tow hitch and also these high lift points, you could see that it's all like integrated into the frame. So if you're gonna go like a heavier duty rear bumper, you may have to cut that out, but it looks like C4 just kind of went around it, integrated their own little recovery points into the high lift jack point, some Baja S2 Pros, you still have your license plate light, the trailer hookup stuff, and it actually looks pretty decent. And the nice thing is that it's all metal. The next Tacoma is over here at Ragu Fab, and then we have DV8, so it looks like they have their own kind of roof rack with branding and everything on it, but up front of it has some fat rigid lights on it too. In the back we have an ADD rear bumper. So again, kind of doing that same thing that C4 did, just integrating it around. This one looks a bit more OEM plus for sure. They didn't integrate any sort of little recovery points or anything, but it looks like that it hangs down low enough to the point where you could add your own if you want. Still kept all the sensors in it. And then this one has some Ragu ditch brackets for some lights, and then also its own kind of front bumper down here. So this is what a lot of people are doing, is just like a tiny little valence one. This one has some lights and also a winch. And then DV8 over here, they have kind of a low pro setup going on too. They have their own sliders, their own roof rack. This one allowing it to have some recovery points up front, a light bar way down there at the bottom, and then some pods too. Then they have their own roof rack, which I'm curious how that wind noise will be. That's a bit high, but I mean, everyone is just testing all their stuff right now for these new Tacomas. They kind of did like what Westcott did, coming up off the back. I think that looks good on the Taco. Here's a look at their sliders, kind of like what C4 did, with like the little rivets right there to kind of just hold your foot into place so it don't slide. But this one is very unique, like indents right there with no kick out. And then also they have their own bumper back here too. This one is a little bit cleaner actually up top, but they kind of cover the high lift jack points. So not sure what I think about that, or if you even need that for what you're doing. I don't know, but let me know in the comments. And we made it to Nitto's booth with Jeff's Land Cruiser over here, but they have a Ranger Raptor, dude, on freaking portals. So Ranger Raptor, not really many of them out there, and this one is already on portals. We got some Nitto trail grapplers on this 37 by 12.5s. Doesn't really look like they did much chopping like at all on this. Maybe right here, I think. I'm not really sure how Rangers are, but what we've been waiting for, Jeff's Land Cruiser over here. So this is his first edition. He built it in probably less than a week or so when 3 of these came in. So the 2 that I showed you earlier, the Heritage Blue and the other black one, and this he was pretty much building at the same time in only a week. And if you look, the tires are off. 37s are on the other side, which I'll show you. But we have TRD upper control arms right here, Fox TRD Pro shocks from the Tundra. So he had to manufacture some different bolts down here and inserts of the actual shock to make this happen. I'm not sure if Jeff said that they had to do anything up top on the top hats, but Tundra suspension underneath here, and also Tundra suspension right here in the back with the coils too. And then he wrapped it in a matte black PPF, and I'll show you guys some of the accents that this one has. But this is gonna be Jeff's SEMA truck, so take a look at basically how this truck is now for the Overland Expo, and it's gonna be completely different come October, November timeframe in SEMA. So he has his roof rack up top with some of the bronze accents, same roof rack that was on the other trucks, with back here with the Westcott designs, and then 33-inch tires with Innovate wheels, 37-inch tires, 12.5 Recon grapplers with the beadlock as well. The same rock sliders that we had on the other trucks, but these ones are actually angled and they're all nice and shiny. And then as we come to the back, he has his tire carrier back here with the 37 on it, Westcott designs in that bronze, matching everything really well. And then he took away Land Cruiser on this side and he did all nice and bronze and wrote out Moab Cruiser. So if you think about Moab and what vehicles are built like out there, just keep in mind again what this Land Cruiser looks like now, and then we will see it kind of build up over time, and then eventually the grand reveal of what this crazy thing is gonna be will be around October timeframe at SEMA. And then over here at Magnaflow's booth, check out this pre-runner that we have a GFC camper on top of that. That's pretty wild. So Magnaflow has some pretty crazy stuff going on. They got this Toyota pre-runner here. They got some Broncos, but the cool thing is their Tacoma that we have in the back. So Camberg and Magnaflow, they're now a company together. So with their 4th gen Tacoma over here, they have the Ivan Ironman Stewart stuff coming out for it. So there's a whole performance exhaust system that they have going on for this. And I believe I'll be putting some Magnaflow onto my Tacoma soon, but hopefully I could get this cool stuff, man, because check this out. It's all Toyota Heritage style with it, with the colors and everything. So they have their own kind of like spacer kit that would go up top. Not the biggest fan of that, but it does allow to clear for some bigger tires versus doing all new suspension. But we have upper control arms and also some trailing arms, and we'll see how it looks installed on the Tacoma over here. So we got the uppers and then a little bit of a top hat spacer, and then we have a little sticker package that you would get with it, and then our trailing arm right down here, and then the exhaust actually looks pretty good. It is a sticker, but the exhaust actually looks pretty good. Whoa, 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 whoa! So here we have the Ineos Grenadier truck, and this thing is like super unique looking. So it's powered by a BMW B58, which is like the same one in the Supra. I'm not sure if they do like different type of truck stuff or anything like that, like Toyota does with the 2.4s. But look at the inside of this thing. Same shifter that a Supra has.
Are you filming a YouTube video?
Oh yeah, dude. Say what's up.
What's up?
What's up? A lot of.
How are you filming a YouTube video on that?
It's a tiny little camera, and it has like a little gimbal up top, and then
A YouTube gimbal?
yeah, a YouTube gimbal, and then my microphone's right here. And then the back seats, you try to sit in the back, and there's no like handle to get into, so I guess like use the seat or something.
You have million subscribers?
No, not a million subscribers. I'm not cool, dude.
You're not popular?
Not popular at all, no. But there is a decent amount of space back here. But it would be nice if there was a handle. This thing is just kind of unique looking, for sure. Big truck bed, which is pretty cool. But very unique bed rail handles. Super just tall looking too. Made it back over to the Toyota booth. We got Ghosted TRD getting his B-rail of the 4Runner, but we also got hooked up with the patches. So Toyota's gonna have 4 patches for all the expos, 4 different patches, like the 4Runner one down here at the bottom. They're gonna be different vehicles potentially, and a little Toyota patch right here. And everyone is pretty much breaking down, but there was a lot of vehicles here, and I didn't know how I was going to make a video, right, of Overland Expo, but basically there's a lot of stuff here. I talked more with companies and did stuff and had more like organic interactions with things, like CBI here, right? Talked with CBI about some potential stuff in the future, talked with Cali Raised about other stuff too. Tons of companies just talking about things. That's kind of how this event is. So it's hard to like organically document it and stuff. But we're walking up to the GFC booth now, where the truck was the whole time, and we're gonna start breaking down the booth because it's 3 o'clock, and then we'll eventually be making my way back to Florida. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.